Hi, everybody. Today is a very special day, at least for me. Today was the day I decided 1 year ago to completely reset this channel. And it was a bit of a hard decision to make, but in hindsight, it was definitely a very good one. So a year ago today, I uploaded my very first video on this channel. Again, after resetting it, but whatever, that doesn't matter. And it was talking about Darcy, which was basically just me rambling about how cool I thought Darcy was as a villain. And it was funny because I didn't think that video would get any views, right? Because I was uploading gaming reaction content to like Fire Emblem and stuff. And then I completely swapped directions after resetting the channel. And I was like, this isn't gonna get any views. But like, I was loving the show so much. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna put something out there and I'm just gonna talk about it. This is before I even entered the community at all. I was just like completely doing something on my own. I was like, you know what? Let's just make a video, right? Let's just make a video. It should be a good time. And then it started getting views. And I was like, wait a minute. This is getting more views than my gaming channel. For the record, I've been doing gaming videos on YouTube for like 4 years now. And I was doing them and I was uploading 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 times a day over and over and over, playing games constantly and seeing like hardly any results. Like I think there was a couple playthroughs, like my Persona 5, my Fire Emblem 3 Houses playthroughs. They got some attention, but nothing like ever lasted forever, right? Whenever I moved on to a new game, that audience would completely leave and my views would drop by like 95%. And I always felt really bad because I felt like I had an audience there for a while and then they all just left. But then I started seeing that this Darcy video got up to like 1,000 views within a few days and I was like, that's weird. You know what? Why don't I just keep talking about it, you know? Why not just keep talking about it? This video got popular for some reason. And the thing is, I didn't realize this yet. I didn't realize how unsaturated this cartoon community is on YouTube. The cartoon community, in my opinion, is probably one of the easiest ways to grow on YouTube because it's so small. You look at gaming, right? And it's so oversaturated. A game comes out and you have like thousands upon thousands of people streaming, making let's plays, making content on the same game. When a new show releases, you have maybe like 100 and it's like, that's it. And then like the amount of content and the type of content is usually very, I don't want to say typical, but like it's very just the same things, right? You got your theories, you got people doing breakdowns, but there's not many people thinking outside of the box for creative ideas. You know, there's a handful of people here and there, but not too many. And I started realizing that after I was doing these reviews, because I was doing these reviews and having a good time and they started getting more and more attention. I think the biggest one where I finally realized like, hey, this channel is actually getting some real traction was when Hollow Mind came out. That freaking episode, dude, was the first time I had ever hit 100,000 views on YouTube, and it felt amazing. It felt so good because I was like, wow, people are actually commenting on this. And I remember I was looking at my comments section and I was like clicking like to all the comments because I love reading all the comments. And then I refreshed it 5 minutes later and there were like 50 more comments and I was like, there's no way. I had never received this level of attention, of viewership. And after just so many years of trying, it felt so nice to finally like feel like I was getting somewhere. And then I kept going, right? I kept going till Amphibia ended and then the Owl House Season 2B ended. And then I amassed a good amount of subscribers. I even started doing collabs like Tomato Sauce and whatnot. And then after the seasons ended, I started doing like those little event games, right? With the Cahoots and Hunger Games. And those 2 videos popped off so hard. The first Hunger Games passed over 1 million views. And it's like, that was something that the community didn't have yet. I offered something to the community that didn't exist. And I think that type of content, like the Hunger Games, Cahoots, was something that I've seen in different communities, but I've never seen in this cartoon community. And there's still so many things that I have seen done in like gaming communities where they always try to keep ideas fresh, but I haven't seen in the cartoon community. And it's interesting because since I sort of have my grassroots in the gaming community, when I come over to the cartoon community, I can kind of offer what the gaming community had into this other community. And I think that's kind of neat, right? So you're sort of spreading the ideas from community to community. And it wasn't until after the biggest hype train ended, after the finale in Amphibia and Owl House Season 2B, that I realized that my channel was so lucky, right? Amphibia's final season, Season 3B, and the Owl House's Season 2B, those seasons coinciding with each other, releasing weekly, were one of the hypest times in existence for like the cartoon community around these two shows. And that is why my channel was able to get so much attention, because I talked about these shows, and I was also the earliest one to talk about it. Whenever an episode would come out, I would immediately go grab my microphone, ramble on for like an hour, edit it all down, go as quickly as possible, and get it uploaded as quickly as possible. And because I was the first, that is why I got attention, because I monopolized the market on YouTube before anybody else could. And it's kind of sad because I realize that this channel is completely built off of that, where it's completely built off the fact that I was the first one to talk about things, and that it was during one of the hypest times. So this channel was completely built off of a trend. And then I kind of just kept steamrolling with it, kept it going. And then once those 2 seasons ended, we had that quiet time where we didn't really have any content. And I made, things here and there to kind of keep things going. And then like Owl House Season 3 started coming around, right? And then, we had like those little periods. I sort of didn't really make too much content around this time because I was focusing on my other channels as well, because I'd been ignoring them during the hypest time, when the seasons were just finishing up for Amphibia and the Owl House. And then I was trying to just balance them all, during the latter half of last year. And then during this year, I was just, trying to balance them all once again. And then sort of we make our way to now. And I'm sitting at 75,000 subscribers. And that's so cool. And what's also so neat is this video is my 100th video on this channel. We have had 100 videos in 1 year. Pretty cool, honestly. Pretty cool that the 100th video is actually uploaded on today, the anniversary of this channel. And basically, what I'm trying to say with all of this is that I am just very grateful to the community, I guess, and that I am very lucky to have gotten 75,000 subscribers. And it feels almost like I cheated, right? It feels not genuine to me. I'm not even gonna lie. I know this might sound weird to you all, but I still consider myself at the same, level, I guess you could say, as a very small creator, despite the fact that I have this outlet now where I can post a video and it's guaranteed to at least get like a few thousand views, right? I could upload anything and it'll at least get like 1,000 to 2,000 views, right? For the most dedicated fans, which I do appreciate all of you. And that's not something that a lot of people can say, right? And I just feel lucky to be able to say that. Like, you hear a lot of creators on YouTube say that they got very lucky, but like, I literally was, right? I was so lucky, and I didn't even know it. I just like rambled about my favorite shows, and it just so happened to coincide with the hypest time for these 2 shows. I literally was just lucky, and that's how I got so big. And honestly, once Owl House started reaching towards its end, I was getting kind of scared. I was like, well, once I stop uploading Owl House and Amphibia content, everybody's gonna leave, right? I'm gonna be left back, just like how I was with my gaming videos when, I made a big old playthrough on Persona 5. It got like hundreds of views per episode. But the second I made content on something else, everybody's gone. 95% of the views are gone. And that was what was so scary to me for the longest time, right? Because I was like, once the Owl House ends, I'm just gonna lose 95% of my audience again, right? And you might be watching this right now and you're gonna be like, oh no, Zeez, we're not gonna leave. But the thing is, you're gonna leave. If I'm talking about something you haven't seen, you're probably not gonna click on the video. And even then, even if you do say that you want to stay, YouTube might not even allow me to. Like, let's say I make a video on One Piece, right? I love One Piece. One Piece is awesome. If I make a video on One Piece now, I guarantee you it might get 2,000 views, which is, if you look at my channel average, my channel average is probably around 30K. It fluctuates depending on what it is, but I'd say 30K views is probably around the average view. But that would get like no views because of the YouTube algorithm, Where I am in the YouTube algorithm is in this very specific spot, sort of with Disney TVA shows. So if I step outside of that, YouTube's gonna shoot my channel and be like, yo, you're stepping outside of your community. Die. So it's a little tricky to kind of make stuff outside of that sphere, I guess you could say. And I just uploaded my Mario review. I don't actually know how well it's gonna do. I imagine it's gonna do okay because it's kind of a trendy topic. But talking about trends is not something that I want to keep this channel alive with, right? You know, you look at other cartoon channels, and they're talking about other shows, right? Other popular shows, other popular movies and whatnot, and I can't do that, right? Like, I liked Owl House and Amphibia, and it just so happened that they were trendy, right? It was just luck again, because I'm not somebody who likes to hop on trends, really. Like, if I like something, I'm gonna talk about it. If it just so happens to be trendy, then I guess that's just lucky for me. But if I want to talk about something that's not trendy, let's say I want to talk about Del Toro Quest, one of my favorite shows of all time that nobody knows about. I was just rewatching a few episodes of Witch, that really old show that probably no one knows about. Heck, anything that's not Owl House and Amphibia, if I talk about it, it's likely not going to get that many views. Unless it's like a Disney show, right? Or some other sort of popular cartoon. And that was so scary to me for so long, right? It was absolutely terrifying. And I know that probably around this time, I am at the apex of this channel's lifespan, I guess you could say. I shouldn't say that. My apex was back in June. This channel has been slowly like up and down, but June was like where my peak was. But this is like a second rising peak since the Owl House has just ended and lots of people are going crazy over it. This is like the second apex of my channel. I can tell you right now, as of this video, my views are going to decline. Like, that is without a doubt, right? That's without a doubt. But I don't feel that scared by it anymore, right? I actually feel sort of excited to open up new chapters into new things. And since it's been a whole year, it just feels so poetic that the Owl House had ended like 3 days before the first anniversary of this channel, I guess you could say. And like, we just uploaded 100 videos as of this video. It just feels so poetic, I guess you could say. And I'm just very grateful for it all, you know? Every single video I've uploaded, I've put care into. Okay, maybe not every single. I'd say most of them. There's a couple duds in there, but I'd say most of the videos I put a lot of work into. And like, especially the ones that I put a lot of work into, like the Hunger Games 2, the art contest, video contests, the episode reviews, the Kahoots, Gardic phones, all the silly little videos like that. Whenever I see like some nice responses, it really means a lot, because when you work hard on something and then somebody is like, hey, you did a good job, it really does feel nice, right? And I get so many comments as well saying, why don't you just make more Hunger Games videos? Why don't you just make more Kahoot videos, right? Because they're so popular. And it's like, yes, I could do that, but I don't want to, right? Like, they're fun. Like, don't get me wrong, they are fun, but I don't like doing them all the time. I can't just do Hunger Games. I can't just do Kahoots, because then I'll just keep pigeonholing myself, right? I have to constantly be coming up with new ideas to be able to grow. And if I just keep sticking with what works, it's just going to eventually die off, right? Like Hunger Games, people loved the Hunger Games, the original one, and they were really looking forward to Hunger Games 2. But when you look at Hunger Games 2, you don't really see that many comments asking for a Hunger Games 3. I mean, I'm sure people would appreciate it, and now, like right now, people are asking for a Kahoot. But after I make that next Kahoot, there's probably not going to be that many people wishing for another one, because each and every single video, it's just going to get like less interesting and less interesting, because the same thing over and over. People want new ideas, and that's why we have to keep doing new ideas. And if you saw my little update/art contest announcement video yesterday, you'll know that I said I'm not going to stop Amphibia or Owl House content for a while. And that is true. I don't think I could ever stop talking about them. It's just going to be gradually less and less, right? Because there are other shows to talk about. You know, we got new shows, old shows, maybe even some movies and stuff mixed in there every now and again. And we'll still have little fun event videos too. But regardless of all that very complex stuff, I guess all I'm really trying to say is it's going to be a bit of an uncertain future, but I'm very grateful for the past year. This whole year, I have met so many cool people, The Discord server has been awesome. Got to meet so many fun people there. The connections I've made, the growth that I've had, both through YouTube as a content creator and personally through these shows and through this community, has just been awesome. Has truly just been awesome. And I am just so overwhelmed with gratitude for all of you. I know that's so cringe to say because every YouTuber does it, right? But it's so real, right? It's so real because I literally was working for this, right? I was working for an audience for 3 years. And, other creators work even longer, right? I've seen people working for upwards of 10 years and having hardly anything to show for it, sadly. But at 3 years, dude, that's still a long time. And then finally getting it, it's just so nice. And we are 75% away to getting a YouTube silver play button. And that, I think having something like that physically to just be in my hands and be like, you got this, right? We did this all together. Us as a community, we earned this silver play button. And that is going to be so interesting, right? It's going to be so interesting to see and have in my hands because it doesn't feel real. I grew up wanting to be a YouTuber, right? I watched YouTube all the time and I was like, man, is that ever going to be possible for me? And, as I was doing those gaming videos day after day after day, every single day, grinding out videos 2 to 3 days, doing my 12-hour, 14-hour, maybe even 16-hour work days all the time, and just having nothing to show for it was really depressing. And now I feel like I do have something to show for it. And I have all of you now. And I think that's just, it's so cool. It's just really, really cool. So anyways, I don't want this to go on for too long. I guess I just want to say thank you all for sticking around for a whole year. And I hope that we'll have even more fun content in the future. So I really do hope that you stick around. But that'll be it for me. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I will see you all later for another whole year of fun. Bye!